So I'm going to take the time in this intro to commend Sega, if that's, you know, I believe Sega. I mean, Sega made the game. I don't necessarily know. I think these movies are made by Paramount. Regardless, I'm going to commend the creators of the Sonic movies on not only listening to the fans when they made that first absolutely just horrendous Sonic design and people were going ballistic saying that better not be what we got to sit through for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm glad y'all, thank you so much for listening to the fans, but thank you for being consistent as far as knowing what the fans want, knowing what this material is, and producing absolutely fantastic movies. This one is truly the best. It's no competition, but that's because Shadow the Hedgehog is one of the coolest characters of all time. But I need to commend and absolutely tip my cap, give a standing ovation. Because y'all done pulled off what only in my opinion, and what, you know, history has proven to us, you know, video game movies basically just don't do well. History has proven that to us. Time has told us that. I can only commend y'all for not only continuing to make great movies, but having them live up to what our childhood expectations were. To what you're literally bringing to life childhood joy. And I'm so sorry if that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to find my wording as I talk. Sometimes I just tend to ramble, but this is truly my childhood, literally bursting out of my chest, like Shadow the Head. Like I thank you for doing this. I'm going to just talk about the rest in this review. Thank you. That's all I really wanted to say. I said all of that, all of those words, just to say thank you for not fucking this up, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, starring Ben Schwartz, Keanu Reeves, Idris Elba, Jim Carrey, and it was directed by Jeff Fowler. And our story follows Team Sonic on whatever Donkey said in Shrek, and it basically follows them on another adventure where basically this time they are taking on Shadow after being awakened after a 50-year sleep, and honestly, all hell breaks loose. They have to stop Shadow and Dr. Evil Robotnik Man, the opposite of Dr. Robotnik, basically his grandfather. They have to stop them two from basically destroying the entire world and taking revenge on what happened to Shadow and himself. Of course, the opposite Dr. Robotnik. And I'm sorry if that's a terrible way of describing that plot. I just want to get on to talking about this movie, guys, because it's freaking awesome. It is absolutely everything I could hope for as a Shadow the Hedgehog fanatic. I mean, to this day, since it is Christmas, one of the best Christmas gifts I've ever received to this day is Shadow the Hedgehog 2 on PlayStation 2. It's one of the best video games I've ever played in my life. It's so much fun. I thought Shadow the Hedgehog was so cool, having that gun and just like being the badass Sonic and having so many ridiculously insane powers. Growing up, I thought him and Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach were the two of the coolest characters that could ever be created in the universe. And to this day, they still do feel like that to me. But look, man, growing up as a fan of Sonic, not only Sonic, but Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, I was a big fan of Sonic. But once I found out about Shadow the Hedgehog, once that character came into my life, like, I never looked at Sonic the same again. Like, I love Sonic, but it's like Shadow is like all the way up there. Sonic's like here, Shadow is all the way up there. But I have a huge love for Shadow. And being able to see this story play out on the big screen was... I'm getting emotional here. I'm sorry. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry. It really was. It was beautiful. The animation was absolutely spectacular. Sonic has never looked better. The fight scenes are absolutely insane. I mean, this is everything you could want as a fan of these movies and beyond that, or a fan of the series, of the entire franchise itself, these characters and these movies. But even if you're not a fan, you have to really appreciate what's going on screen because it's nothing short of awesome. It's nothing short of spectacular. This is a movie that I have deemed right next to Mufasa that I have to go see again, because watching Shadow and Sonic fight on the big screen is a one-of-one experience. It is truly, like, it does nothing really comes close. And I mean, well, there's a lot of things that happen on screen, but like for as big of a fan as I am of the Shadow the Hedgehog character, I never thought anything like this could even be possible, but like being able to watch it was an experience unlike any other. And it's right next to watching Across the Spider-Verse, honestly, for me. It's like a dream come true. I never thought it could be this beautiful and this amazing, but they truly got everything right. Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog was pitch perfect voice casting. I loved it. I absolutely loved every second of this movie. Now, some of it does get very kidsy and cheesy, but it is a quote-unquote kids movie to a lot of you. Me personally, it's for everybody. It's an everybody type of movie. It's rated E for everyone. Yeah, screw you guys. It's not a kids movie. It's rated E for everyone for a reason. Y'all forget that about those games. But yeah, no, Sonic is for everybody. And yeah, no, this movie truly brought it in every aspect possible. I mean, everything is bigger, everything is badder, everything is just way funnier. I think they turn everything up up a notch by 1,000, and beyond that, they really do a great job. No shade to James Marsden and Tika Sumpter, who I love. I miss Mixed Dish, but they really do a great job of being able to balance out the human characters' screen time and the actual Hedgehog and Dr. Eggman screen time. They give us a lot more Hedgehogs in Eggman, and they give us twice the Eggman, and we just absolutely have the time of our lives in that theater. Like me and my boys, and everybody, as far as I'm concerned, in that theater, had the time of our lives. It was childhood fulfillment unlike any other. Because like I said, history has proven that video game movies, for whatever reason, just cannot get it right. Not Dungeons and Dragons. Well, that's not, I guess, not a video game, but a board game. But Dungeons and Dragons definitely got it right. But video games movies just get a bad rap. But this Sonic has not only been consistent, but it's getting better and better and better and better. And this was a statement unlike any other. They got Shadow the Hedgehog right. I fully entrust them with whatever's next, because they're truly proving that they can honestly open up the entire Sonic lore at this point, because it's just going to get way too successful. It's going to be like really big. It's going to be absolutely out of this world at this point. They can really make at least 10 movies of these. They can make 10 of these. Like, I lie to you not. They can go for Sonic for a long time, especially if it's getting better and better. This world is getting bigger. Watching Sonic and Shadow, as I said, go at it on screen is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't necessarily want to spoil where these fights go, but let me tell you, I'm going to explain it this way. Every time these two link up in this movie, each time throughout the movie these guys link up, it gets absolutely ridiculous. It gets more and more intense, more and more insane. A very nice dynamic between the two, and a very nice relationship building between Sonic and Shadow. And I like the banter they have between each other. It's very funny. Love Idris Elba's Knuckles, but let me stay on track here. Shadow and Sonic's relationship is done very well, and the fights, every time these two link up, you literally want to I don't know if you guys are feeling the same as me, but I'm literally sitting there trying to restrain myself from getting up and jumping and applauding every time that they fight, because something on screen happens that I absolutely just cannot believe is even being pulled off right now in front of my eyes. Like I truly cannot believe they got this entire thing correct. Like it's perfect. This is a perfect Sonic movie as far as I'm concerned. Perfect characters, perfect action. Like I said, the movie does get kind of cheesy at times, but I mean, it's got to appeal to the kids at some points in times. But I mean, some of the acting gets kind of crazy and cartoonish, but it's fun. Everybody's having a fun time. The guy who was having the most fun, though, the guy who was having the most fun, without a doubt, is Jim Carrey, and that was a great way to segue into that. Good job, Sorrel. But that Jim Carrey is having the time of his life in this movie. I absolutely adored every single second of Jim Carrey. Like he is the only person that I think could play Dr. Eggman. He plays it so well, and him playing the opposite Eggmans, I loved. Like the grandfather, we're going to call him Grandpappy Eggman, and the regular Dr. Eggman. Oh my gosh. There's a dance sequence in this movie that is absolutely hysterical, It is brilliantly pulled off. The song is it's actually amazing. I loved every second. Like, no, Jim Carrey truly brought it in this movie, and unlike anyone, I love that he chooses his stuff wisely. He knows what he wants to do. He knows how he wants to spend his time. He gives it all in these Sonic Dr. Eggman movies, and not Dr. Eggman movies, but Sonic movies. He gives it all as Dr. Eggman in these Sonic movies, and you can do nothing but appreciate him for it. You can do absolutely nothing but appreciate him for everything he does as his character, because it's always funny. It is truly Jim Carrey at his finest in this one here, especially to see where Dr. Eggman is when you find him. And then honestly, the shtick that they have, the way they keep bringing this character back, I love it. They understand how Sonic works, and I just absolutely adore every second of it. Like I said, the voice acting, I'm going to go back to Idris Elba. I don't necessarily, for whatever reason, I don't know off the top of my head who plays Tails, but Idris Elba as Knuckles is once again hilarious. I love that the whole thing of him wearing the actual Knuckles fists themselves in the voice acting booth. I love how seriously he takes his work. I love how seriously he takes his character, and I love how seriously Knuckles just takes life and everything that he says. It's absolutely awesome, and it's so funny. This movie is so funny, and look. Like I said, it consistently follows everything that the previous movies have already given us, but the action is dialed up by a million because you have a lot cooler, not a lot cooler, you have one very, very, very cool character in here with insane powers that you have to dial everything up and bring out the big guns, literally. They're bringing out a lot bigger guns and stakes in this movie, and it's just awesome to see, and I love what they're building towards. The end credit scene in this movie is amazing. It shows, like I said, that they absolutely know how to introduce these characters. They know how to go about the lore of Sonic. They know where they want to take the story. They know what they want to do with this universe. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 10 Sonic movies, man. It's truly going to build into something special and amazing, and this will be one of the greatest kids series. Or I'm sorry, let me throw that phrase away. It's not a kids series. It'll truly take this series to be one of the best video game adaptations in the world. Not that, it's really hard to do that because not a lot of video game adaptations work, but this one is working to the best degree that it can, and I don't see it slowing down at all. This movie was absolutely a blast in every sense of the word, and honestly, look, that's all I really got to say about it. So for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Okay, guys, so Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Have you seen it? What did you think about it, guys? Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and so much more. I really do appreciate it. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.